Yo, what's good, everybody? The Boxing Source checking in here once again, and wanted to talk about the news that had come out from the World Boxing Council. This is a continuation of one of the videos that I had a few days ago in reference to Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. Well, it looks like the WBC has made a ruling that, in reference to negotiations for Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte to happen, that they are going to have their ruling as the split for the champion and the challenger to be 80% for Fury and 20% for Whyte. And that's very interesting. I think that, I have no idea where that, pretty much comes from. Maybe it's due to the amount of money that Tyson Fury has gotten in his recent fights in comparison to Dillian Whyte, and that's why they kind of like made that particular ruling. Now, usually when it comes to a WBC mandatory challenger, the split is usually around like 55%, 45%. And, Dillian Whyte, has a standing of the interim WBC heavyweight champion. But in this particular case, I think the factors of Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder, particularly in his last two fights, was a huge factor in this particular ruling. Now, you had Tyson Fury be able to have a negotiation with Deontay Wilder for those two fights, the last two fights in the trilogy. With the first fight, him getting around the purse of $25 million US. And with him winning that fight, for the third fight, he got around $30 million US. And, with that being said, that is much higher to me than what Dillian Whyte has been getting in his previous fights. He's faced Alexander Povetkin twice. He's fought Oscar Rivas. He's fought Joseph Parker. He's fought Derek Chisora. But those particular fights don't necessarily bring the purse to the level of where he could have a more even split there with Tyson Fury. Up until the point that they had this ruling, I was, trying to, calculate and crunch the numbers to see where it would be at as far as like what the potential split could be, as far as like how much Tyson Fury could get and how much Dillian Whyte could get. Now, Dillian Whyte had been asking for, I guess, $8 to $10 million, and kind of like declined a offer of $5 million. But now, he has this particular issue here where the WBC had made that ruling. Now, the thing that had me stuck was, if Tyson Fury is in the middle of his deal with Top Rank, that means that he's probably having this particular fight over in the US and not in the UK. He had it should be about a 5 or 6 fight deal, co-promotional deal with Top Rank and Queensberry Promotions and Frank Warren. So he's pretty much had Tom Schwartz, Otto Wallin, Deontay Wilder. So he still has 1 or 2 more fights left on that co-promotional deal. And it looks like he has a minimum guarantee of $15 million per fight. So he would probably get around $15 million for this particular fight. Now, if it's in the US, it's most likely going to be in Las Vegas. So you could have a fight between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte in Las Vegas. But we're still not guaranteed that this particular fight is going to happen, given that Dillian Whyte is in the middle of, arbitration there with the World Boxing Council. And if that doesn't, have itself situated in due time, then we might not see that fight for a little while, if it happens at all. But you do have a purse bid that is scheduled for January 11th for this particular bout, and we're going to see how that purse bid is going to, sort itself out. We could probably get more details on it as far as like what the minimum bid would be if this fight does go to a purse bid. And then after the minimum bid is placed, who will be able to bid for the fight? And who bids for it? Who ends up winning it? And still, there ain't no guarantee that whoever wins the bid still can hold the fight. So that remains to be seen how that's going to turn out. We'll see how this gets itself situated. I guess we got to count some more days that Dillian Whyte is the mandatory challenger for the WBC championship, but you still got to see if he's going to be able to step in the ring and fight for that WBC championship. That's all in reference to this particular topic. You can subscribe to the Boxing Source here on YouTube or follow us on social media. We really appreciate it. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.